The people who rise above the crowd aren't waiting for someone else to fix their life, to hand them opportunity, or to solve their problems. They take control of every area of their life, whether it's their work, their relationships, or the way they show up every single day. Responsibility is not something you do when it's convenient. It is something you live, breathe, and act on no matter the circumstances. When someone is destined for success, they understand this clearly. They don't blame the world, they don't complain about conditions, and they don't waste energy on excuses. Instead, they look squarely at what they can do right now, in this moment, and they act. Every day, they plant seeds in their own life by taking responsibility for small actions that grow into massive results over time. It's not easy. Taking unshakable responsibility means acknowledging that life will not always be fair. It means understanding that setbacks are not obstacles to avoid, but lessons to embrace. Those who are destined for success confront these moments without turning away. They feel the weight of their challenges, they sense the sting of mistakes, and they allow it to fuel them rather than defeat them. Feeling uncomfortable or struggling doesn't stop them. In fact, it becomes part of what sharpens their skills, builds their character, and strengthens their resolve. The difference between those who eventually achieve and those who drift is simply who decides to own their life completely. Responsibility is a muscle, and the more it's exercised, the stronger it becomes. People who are meant to succeed do not wait for motivation to appear. They understand that life is unpredictable, that energy will fluctuate, and that circumstances are rarely perfect. They push forward anyway. They rise early, they plan carefully, and they make sure their actions align with the goals they are chasing. Every decision they make, no matter how small, is measured against the life they want to build. They are willing to face discomfort, to sit with tough truths about themselves, and to make changes that others avoid. Accountability becomes their best friend. When they fail, they own it immediately, learn the lesson, and move forward. They don't spend hours complaining, blaming, or feeling sorry. The moment of ownership transforms setbacks into stepping stones, and it sets them apart from anyone who waits for permission to live the life they deserve. Responsibility also extends to relationships. Those who are destined for success understand that the people around them influence their path dramatically. They don't blame friends, family, or colleagues when things go wrong. They see clearly where their influence begins and ends, and take action to maintain integrity in every interaction. They commit to honesty, consistency, and reliability, and they hold themselves to a standard that inspires others. You can recognize these individuals because they make promises they keep, they show up when it matters, and they refuse to compromise their values for temporary comfort or approval. In a world where it is easy to point fingers, they stand firm as the steady force that others can trust. Another key aspect of unshakable responsibility is financial and personal discipline. People destined for success understand that their financial choices, how they spend their time, and the habits they nurture daily shape their future more than any external factor. They invest in themselves and in things that yield long-term benefits. They don't chase instant gratification or follow every fleeting trend. Instead, they measure today against tomorrow and make sacrifices in the moment to secure freedom and growth later. This doesn't happen by chance. It happens because they accept complete responsibility for the way their life unfolds. They refuse to be a victim of circumstance. Health, energy, and mindset are treated with the same rigor. A person who takes responsibility knows that how they care for their body and mind determines their capacity to handle challenges and opportunities. They don't rely on luck to stay strong. They eat, move, rest, and think in ways that prepare them for the demands of life. They don't wait for motivation or inspiration to appear. They follow a plan, they execute consistently, and they make adjustments when necessary. The willingness to be accountable for personal habits creates a foundation that allows them to climb higher than anyone else. Success is not about luck or waiting for favorable conditions. People who achieve remarkable things understand that their destiny is shaped daily through responsibility. They wake up with the knowledge that each choice matters, that each action compounds, and that the quality of their life tomorrow depends entirely on how they show up today. They do not postpone responsibility or hope someone else fixes the gaps in their life. Every opportunity they create begins with ownership of their circumstances and a refusal to shy away from reality. Taking responsibility also means facing the truth about personal weaknesses. Everyone has areas where they are not perfect. Those destined for success do not ignore them. They face these weaknesses with courage, they analyze them honestly, and they take deliberate action to improve. It may require effort, practice, and sometimes embarrassment, but they embrace the challenge. The people who achieve greatness understand that hiding flaws or blaming others keeps them trapped, while owning them opens doors to growth. This approach fosters resilience and builds confidence, showing the world and themselves that they are capable of rising above any obstacle. Responsibility extends to leadership, influence, and contribution. People destined for success do not wait to be chosen. They actively create value for others, they take initiative, and they make a difference where they can. They understand that their influence is proportional to the trust they build, the results they produce, and the reliability they demonstrate. Their actions inspire others, not because of titles or status, but because people see that they are accountable, capable, and committed. Every success story begins with someone who refused to wait for recognition and instead took full ownership of what they could do. The people who succeed consistently make responsibility a daily habit. They do not look for excuses. They do not postpone tasks. And they do not negotiate with mediocrity. They understand that life rewards those who act decisively and take full ownership of outcomes, regardless of circumstances. It's this relentless acceptance of responsibility that creates momentum, opens opportunities, and distinguishes them from the majority who drift through life waiting for luck, inspiration, or external validation. Their lives are the sum of intentional choices, not chance encounters. The power of unshakable responsibility lies in its simplicity and its impact. It does not require special talents or extraordinary circumstances. It requires honesty, courage, and consistent action. It transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary because it eliminates excuses and empowers action. Those who embrace it feel a quiet confidence, a steady energy, and a sense of control over their own lives. They see challenges clearly, act on them promptly, and maintain focus on their goals no matter what distractions arise. Responsibility becomes a lifestyle, not just a principle, and it defines who they are. When people start living this way, they notice a shift in every part of their life. Their work becomes more productive, their relationships more meaningful, and their mindset more focused. They feel the satisfaction of knowing they are in control, and that satisfaction fuels further growth. Every challenge becomes a chance to prove themselves, every setback a lesson to learn, and every success a result of their deliberate action. Life stops being a series of random events and starts being a direct reflection of their effort, focus, and accountability. Ultimately, responsibility is the foundation of every achievement. People destined for success understand that no one owes them anything and that every outcome begins with their choices and actions. They carry this understanding into every interaction, every decision, and every moment. Their lives are filled with purpose, energy, and clarity because they own the present fully and they trust themselves to create the future they desire. The path of unshakable responsibility is not easy, but it is the path that leads to freedom, growth, and lasting success. When responsibility becomes non-negotiable, the world begins to respond. Opportunities appear, relationships strengthen, and challenges are handled with confidence. There is a quiet power in knowing that regardless of what happens, the course of your life rests firmly in your own hands. This is the mark of someone who is destined for success. Every choice, every action, and every decision is made with purpose. Every day becomes a building block for a life of achievement. This is not luck, this is deliberate living, and it is available to anyone willing to embrace it completely. Success does not come from avoiding uncomfortable truths. In fact, the greatest transformations come from the moments when you look yourself in the mirror and see exactly what needs to change. The harshest, most painful truths are often the catalysts for the biggest breakthroughs. They force you to acknowledge what is really standing in your way, and they give you the opportunity to grow in ways you didn't know were possible. We all want things to be easier. We want the path to success to be smooth, clear, and comfortable. But the truth is, growth happens in the spaces where it's hardest. When you confront the uncomfortable truths in your life, you are facing the raw material of your future success. It's like a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. Everything that doesn't belong must be removed, even if it's painful. And the uncomfortable truths, they're the chisel. They strip away the unnecessary layers and reveal the stronger, more resilient version of yourself. The first uncomfortable truth most people must face is the fact that they are not where they want to be, and that it's up to them to change it. This truth is difficult because it means admitting that the current state of your life, whether it's your finances, your health, or your relationships, is a direct result of the choices you've made up until now. It's easy to blame external circumstances. It's easy to point to other people or situations that have influenced where you are. But true growth begins when you acknowledge that you have played a role in creating your current reality and that you have the power to change it. This doesn't mean you're to blame for everything that has happened to you. Life happens, and sometimes you can't control the circumstances you find yourself in. But what you can control is how you respond. The uncomfortable truth is that while you may not be able to change the past, you have the ability to shape your future. The actions you take from this moment forward will determine whether you stay stuck or whether you rise to the next level of your potential. The second uncomfortable truth that leads to growth is that success requires sacrifice. We often fantasize about achieving great things without fully understanding what it will take to get there. We want the rewards, but we don't want to give up the comfort of our current lifestyle. But the reality is, success is a trade-off. It requires giving up certain comforts, certain habits, and sometimes even relationships that no longer serve your growth. You can't expect to move forward in your career, your health, or your personal life if you're holding on to things that are keeping you anchored in place. Facing this uncomfortable truth means recognizing that success demands your focus, energy, and time. It's easy to be distracted by the noise around you. The things you could be doing for fun, the people you could be spending time with, the habits you've grown accustomed to. But real growth comes when you get real about what needs to be prioritized. If you want to move forward, you must be willing to say no to distractions and yes, to the sacrifices that will help you reach your goals. Another uncomfortable truth is that you must take full responsibility for your results. No one else can make your dreams come true. No one else can do the work for you, and no one else is going to hand you success on a silver platter. You are the one who must take ownership of your life and your results. This is one of the hardest truths to accept because it means letting go of excuses. You can't blame your boss, your family, your upbringing, or the economy anymore. You have to look inward and ask, what can I do right now to change my circumstances? This is a critical turning point for anyone who wants to move forward in life. It's easy to complain about what isn't working or what's holding you back, but true success comes from an unwavering commitment to owning your actions and decisions. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to create your success for you. You must step into that responsibility and take control. The truth is, it's uncomfortable to face that you've been procrastinating, that you've been hiding behind fear, or that you've been avoiding difficult conversations or decisions. But that discomfort is exactly what you need to push past. Because every time you face a tough truth, you have the opportunity to take action that leads to growth. It might be uncomfortable to confront your weaknesses, your bad habits, or your lack of progress, but this is how you build character and resilience. This is how you create lasting change. Then there's the uncomfortable truth that growth takes time. We live in an age of instant gratification where we want everything fast. We want results yesterday, and we want the rewards without putting in the work. But the truth is, meaningful success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It's a series of small, disciplined actions taken consistently over time. When you realize that, you stop looking for shortcuts and start focusing on the long-term vision. This truth may challenge your patience. It may make you feel frustrated when you don't see immediate results, but this is where most people give up. They start strong, but falter when they don't see the outcome right away. They think, maybe this isn't for me, or maybe I'm not cut out for this. But the reality is, growth takes time, and every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Embrace the journey. Trust the process. Because real success is built on the foundation of consistent effort, not instant results. Another uncomfortable truth is that you will fail. Failure is a part of the process. In fact, it's often the most valuable part of the process. Every failure is a lesson. Every mistake is a chance to learn, grow, and improve. This truth is uncomfortable because it forces you to deal with your fear of failure. We are conditioned to avoid failure at all costs, but those who succeed learn to embrace it. They don't let failure define them. Instead, they use it as a stepping stone. They understand that failure is just feedback. It tells you what's not working so you can adjust and keep moving forward. The uncomfortable truth is that in order to succeed, you must be willing to fail and get back up. It's not about avoiding mistakes. It's about having the courage to keep going despite them. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you push through your fears, make mistakes, learn from them, and keep striving toward your goals. Lastly, growth through uncomfortable truths means letting go of limiting beliefs. We all have stories we tell ourselves about what's possible and what's not. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we don't have what it takes, or that success is for other people, not for us. These beliefs hold us back more than anything else. The uncomfortable truth is that these beliefs are often lies, and the only thing standing between you and your success is your willingness to challenge and change those beliefs. When you start questioning the stories you've been telling yourself, you open up a whole new world of possibilities. You begin to see that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And once you let go of the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, the possibilities for your life become endless. Growth doesn't happen in the absence of discomfort. It happens because you confront the things that make you uncomfortable and you take action anyway. Embrace the discomfort, face the tough truths, own your responsibility, because in those uncomfortable moments is where the true growth lies, and it's exactly what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who remain stuck. Success doesn't come from a quick burst of effort or a temporary commitment. The people who achieve real, lasting success are the ones who commit to their vision for the long haul. They don't stop after a few setbacks, and they don't get discouraged by slow progress. They understand that greatness requires a long-term perspective, a vision that stretches beyond the next month or year, one that is anchored in the belief that every step forward, no matter how small, is still progress towards. Long-term commitment is about consistency. It's not about being perfect. It's not about doing everything right every single day. It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it, and trusting that those small actions will add up over time. In a world where instant gratification is all around us, where people expect quick results and immediate rewards, the ability to stay focused on long-term goals is a rare and powerful skill. And that's what makes those who commit for the long run stand out from the crowd. When you commit to your vision, you're essentially making a promise to yourself and to your future. This promise is bigger than any temporary setback or obstacle that will inevitably come your way. It's a promise to push through challenges, to learn from mistakes, and to keep going even when it feels like you're not making progress. It's the kind of commitment that doesn't waver when things get tough, but instead, it strengthens you, allowing you to rise above the distractions and stay on track. Long-term, it also requires patience. It's about understanding that real results take time and that the road to success is often slower than we expect. Many people give up too soon because they don't see immediate results. But the truth is, success is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, and sometimes it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But the key is to keep going anyway. Every successful person you admire has gone through periods of doubt, frustration, and setbacks. What made them successful was not the absence of challenges, but their ability to stay committed to the vision of their success, no matter what. One of the most important things to understand about long-term commitment is that it's not just about waiting for success to happen, it's about working for it day in and day out. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that success will come to you if you just wait long enough. But that's not how it works. Commitment is about taking consistent action, even when you don't see immediate rewards. It's about waking up every day with a sense of purpose, with a clear understanding that the work you do today is building the foundation for your future success. The results may not come today or tomorrow, but they will come as long as you keep putting in the effort. The key to long-term commitment is to break your larger goals down into smaller, manageable tasks. This is where a lot of people struggle. They set big, lofty goals, but then get overwhelmed because they don't know how to get there. The truth is, success is built one small task at a time. When you break your goals down into smaller, actionable steps, they become more achievable, and you can stay focused on the present moment instead of stressing about the future. In fact, long-term commitment is about learning how to enjoy the process, not just focus on the end result. The people who achieve their dreams are not just obsessed with the destination, they also find fulfillment in the journey. They know that success is not just about crossing the finish line, but about growing, learning, and evolving every step of the way. They embrace the challenges, the obstacles, and the mistakes because they understand that these are the things that shape them into who they need to become in order to achieve their vision. One of the most powerful aspects of long-term commitment is its ability to develop resilience. The journey to success is never easy. There will be days when you feel exhausted, days when you want to quit, and days when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. But the ability to stay committed through those tough times is what builds your resilience. Each challenge you face, each obstacle you overcome, strengthens you. And over time, you develop a mental and emotional toughness that makes you unstoppable. This resilience comes from seeing the bigger picture. The more you focus on the long-term vision, the less likely you are to get distracted by temporary setbacks. You begin to see failures not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. They're part of the process. The people who are successful for the long term are the ones who understand that the road to success is paved with persistence, perfection. They are the ones who keep moving forward even when things get tough because they believe in their vision and they trust the process. Another essential aspect of long-term commitment is the ability to adapt and adjust. The world around us is constantly changing, and success doesn't always look the way we expect it to. Sometimes, the path you thought would lead to success doesn't work out as planned, and you have to pivot. But this doesn't mean giving up on your vision. It means being flexible and willing to change course if necessary. Those who are truly committed to long-term success are not rigid in their approach. They stay true to their overall goal, but are willing to adjust their strategies and tactics to meet the demands of the changing world around them. Commitment also requires a deep sense of belief in your ability to succeed. Long-term commitment isn't just about following a plan. It's about having faith in yourself and your ability to figure things out as you go. There will moments when you doubt yourself, when you question if you're on the right path. But those who achieve greatness keep going anyway. They trust in their ability to learn, grow, and improve, and they know that with time and persistence, they will get where they want to go. They don't need external validation. Their belief in themselves and their vision is enough to keep them moving forward. One of the best ways to stay committed to your vision over the long term is to surround yourself with people who support and believe in your goals. Success it's a team effort, and the people you associate with can make a huge difference in your ability to stay committed. Find people who inspire you, challenge you, and encourage you to keep going, even when things get tough. These people will remind you of your vision and help keep you grounded when you feel discouraged. Lastly, long-term commitment is about having a purpose that fuels you. When your vision is tied to a deeper purpose, it becomes something you're willing to work for, sacrifice for, and persevere for. Your purpose gives your journey meaning. It's the reason you keep going when things get tough. It's the reason you wake up every morning with energy and passion. When you have a strong purpose behind your commitment, it becomes much easier to stay on track, even when the road gets rough. The vision of long-term commitment is powerful. It's the force that drives you forward, even when progress seems slow. It's what keeps you going when the obstacles seem insurmountable and the path ahead is unclear. With long-term commitment, success isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about embracing the journey, learning from each experience, and becoming the person who can handle all the challenges that come with greatness. Commitment isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily choice. And when you commit to your vision every single day, even when it feels hard or uncertain, you are building a future that is inevitable. Success is not for the faint of heart, but for those who refuse to quit, who continue moving forward no matter the odds, and who keep their eyes on the long-term vision. When you make that kind of commitment to your future, nothing can stop you from reaching your dreams. Motivation is powerful. It sparks the fire, gets you excited, and pushes you to take action when you're feeling inspired. But motivation is fleeting. It's like a burst of energy that fades when the going gets tough or when life starts to throw curveballs your way. The real question isn't whether you can get motivated. The real question is, Can you stay disciplined when motivation runs out? Discipline is the true path to success. It's the ability to keep going even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to stick to your plan and take action consistently, no matter how you're feeling in the moment. It's the thing that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who fall short. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will carry you across the finish line. The truth is, we all have days when we don't feel motivated. There are days when you wake up and the last thing you want to do is work toward your goals. You might feel tired, discouraged, or just plain lazy. Motivation is nowhere to be found. But that's when discipline steps in. Discipline doesn't need to be motivated. Discipline doesn't care about how you're feeling. It's simply a commitment to doing the work, regardless of how you feel in the moment. When you rely on motivation, you're setting yourself up for inconsistency. Motivation comes and goes. It's an emotional state, and emotions are unpredictable. Some days you feel unstoppable. Some days you can't get out of bed. If you build your life on motivation alone, you'll find yourself stuck in a cycle of highs and lows. You'll start strong, but when the motivation fades, so will your progress. You might give up when things get hard because you're no longer feeling that rush of excitement. But with discipline, there is no giving up. There's no "I'll try again tomorrow." Discipline means showing up even when you don't want to. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, whether it feels good or not. It's not about waiting for the perfect mood or the right circumstances. It's about sticking to your commitments and following through, no matter what. That's how success is built, one disciplined action at a time. Discipline also means setting clear habits that keep you on track. It's easy to get distracted by shiny new opportunities or get caught up in things that don't move you closer to your goals. The people who succeed over the long term are the ones who establish habits that reinforce their success. They wake up early, they plan their day, they follow through on their tasks, and they don't deviate from their routine. They make success a daily habit, and that's what sets them apart from those who only rely on motivation. There will be days when your motivation feels non-existent, and that's okay. The key is not to beat yourself up about it. Everyone feels unmotivated sometimes. But what separates successful people from those who struggle is that they don't let that lack of motivation control their actions. Instead, they turn to discipline. They know that the process is more important than the feelings in the moment. They stay focused on their long-term vision and take consistent action to get there. Think about the athletes who perform at the highest levels. They don't rely on motivation to train. They rely on discipline. They follow their training schedules, they push through the pain, and they perform even when they don't feel like it. The same applies to anyone striving for success. Whether it's in business, personal development, or health, the key to reaching your goals is not waiting for motivation to show up. It's about doing the work, regardless of how you feel, because you know that discipline is what will lead you to success. Discipline is also the foundation of resilience. Motivation might get you to the starting line, but it's discipline that helps you finish the race. When things get tough, when you're exhausted, or when you feel like giving up, discipline is what will keep you going. Discipline is what makes you rise again after failure. It's what helps you push through challenges and stay focused on your long-term goals. Motivation might say, "You can do this," but discipline says, "You will do this," and it doesn't stop until the job is done. One of the most powerful things about discipline is that it becomes self-reinforcing. The more disciplined you are, the more confidence you build. When you start following through on your commitments, when you do the things you said you would do, you prove to yourself that you can trust yourself. You build momentum, and that momentum pushes you forward. It makes future tasks easier because you've trained yourself to act even when it's uncomfortable. That's why discipline is so powerful. It creates a cycle of success. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, and the easier it is to stay consistent. Discipline involves saying no. In a world full of distractions, opportunities, and obligations, discipline means knowing what to focus on and what to ignore. It's about protecting your time and energy, saying no to things that don't align with your goals, and saying yes to the work that matters. You can't be everywhere and do everything. Discipline helps you prioritize your most important tasks and stay focused on the things that will move you closer to your vision. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve your goal, you're reinforcing your commitment to success. People often mistake motivation for what really makes a difference. Motivation is a spark, but it's discipline that creates a lasting fire. It's what gets you through the grind, through the days when you feel like quitting, and through the moments when progress seems slow. Without discipline, motivation is just a fleeting feeling. But when you have discipline, you have the ability to push through the tough times, stay consistent, and keep moving forward even when the world around you is uncertain. Discipline isn't about doing the same thing over and over again because you have to. It's about doing the right things consistently because you know they will lead to your success. Discipline is not a punishment. It's the freedom to achieve your goals. It's the ability to keep going when others quit, to stay focused when others are distracted, and to create the future you want through consistent action. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of motivation, but true success lies in the ability to do the work every single day. It's about taking action, even when it's difficult, even when it's uncomfortable, and even when you don't feel like it. That's what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. It's not the one-time burst of energy that gets you results. It's the steady, disciplined action taken over. So, the next time motivation feels distant or hard to find, don't wait for it to show up. Turn to discipline. Make the decision to act even when you don't feel like it. Build the habits that will carry you through the tough times. Stay committed to your goals, no matter how far away they may seem. Because discipline is the true path to success, and once you make it your foundation, there's nothing that can stop you. As you move forward on your journey, remember this: success isn't just about talent or luck. It's about discipline. It's about showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not. It's about the commitment to keep going, to keep doing the work, and to trust in the process even when you don't see the results right away. Motivation may come and go, but discipline is the constant force that will carry you through every challenge, every setback, and every moment of doubt. Your future success is in your hands, and the way you choose to show up every single day will determine the life you create. So, make the commitment today. Commit to doing the work. Commit to pushing through the tough times, and commit to staying disciplined, no matter what. Every small action you take today is a step closer to the life you want tomorrow. Stay relentless, and remember, the true path to success is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the right mood. It's about doing the work day in and day out because your dreams are worth it. Now, it's time to make that commitment. The question isn't whether you can do it. The question is, are you ready to stay disciplined and make your dreams a reality?